Well, I didn't realize that there was all kinds of mud right there. So as soon as I landed, I slipped and I fell. And I got so much mud, right? And my friends, they were like, they didn't know whether to be mad or start laughing. Well, they ended up busting up. They were cracking up at me. It says there's signs for restrooms. That was actually the entrance to the library. This was the foyer. But the school officials, they would come in there and everybody would start to hide. All my friends got caught except me. I went into the children's area where all the like the little areas where the kids would play. I went in there and I hid. And all my friends got caught. They had to go to Saturday school. Not me. I know. Okay, here's a little story for you. That was Mr. Baldock's class. Mr. Baldock was my electrician's class. That's my electronics class. I took 2 years of electronics and I still remember so much of what that guy taught me. One day we were soldering stuff and we were working with wafer boards. So we're putting all the resistors, we're looking at the ohm readings, and we were working off a schematic. And I was like, there's a terminal strip here. I wonder what would happen if I put a paper clip in there. Well, stupid me, I grabbed a paper clip, and I mean, all of us, we're all working, right? We're all soldering stuff and whatever. And then I decided to drop the paper clip inside the terminal, inside the outlet. And as soon as it did that, it went, all kinds of sparks came out. The lights, they all dimmed.
Oh my god.
And everybody's like, whoa, what was that? And my teacher, Mr. Baldock's like, I'm gonna put a paper clip, put a paper clip in there like an idiot. He's like, get out of my class. And I was like, and I'd never caused any trouble in there. I always did my homework, I always participated and all that. I loved that class, but I don't know what possessed me to do that. Anyway, he told me, get out of my class, go to the principal's office. So like, okay, so I went to the principal's office, and then I went in there, and nobody said anything to me. I mean, I just walked straight into the room where everybody had to go. I knew where the room was at. I knew where everybody had to go, and wait for the principal to show up, and then we would get Saturday school. So anyway, I showed up, and nobody showed up, and next thing you know, the bell rings for your next class. I'm like, all right, I guess I gotta go. So I left, and I didn't get in trouble.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
you got lucky though.
I did get lucky. Yeah, that was Mr. Baldock's class in my 9th grade. I took 9th grade electronics and 10th grade electronics. This whole area accumulates a lot of water because it's a low spot, right? So it gets muddy. So one day, me and my 2 friends were walking over from somewhere here, and we walked out here, and I decided, well, this used to have branches that were over. And me and my friends were walking, and I had seen that trees, you know when it rains, they soak up a lot of water, a lot of rain, right? So what I used to do when I was a kid, I used to hit the branches, and all the water would fall on my friends, right, or on myself. Well, I decided to do that to these guys. So when we were walking right next to each other, once they started getting a little closer, I ran and I hit the branch. I jumped up and hit the branch, bam, so that all the water could fall on them. Well, I didn't realize that there was all kinds of mud right there. So as soon as I landed, I slipped and I fell. And I got so much mud, right? And my friends, they were like, they didn't know whether to be mad or start laughing. Well, they ended up busting up. They were cracking up at me. Yeah, they were wet, but they were just whatever. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, I gotta go home. I gotta change. And since my house is really close to here, the apartment where I lived at was super close. I said, I'm just gonna have to miss class and just run home and change and come back. So I ended up doing that. I went home and I changed really quick, and I went back. So as soon as I walked in class, everybody starts laughing at me, right? Because Darnell and Matt had told everybody what had happened.
Oh my god.
So then another story here of Mr. Baldock's class. That guy, yeah, he had, poor guy had cancer, right? He smoked so much, but anyway, he had one ear, right? This whole area was gone. It was just a little hole. and he had to wear glasses. So his glass is always like this. He'd try to put it up, and there was nothing for this thing to hold on to. So he'd always be doing this, and he'd always try to, you know, fix it up. But yeah, this is a story about
The
mud.
branch.
All right. Hope you enjoyed the story, honey buns. Did you like the story?
Yeah, it was funny.
Actually, this was the class here. Or wait, was it? Oh no, this is okay, robotics. But Mr. Ayalo, I loved that teacher.
What the?
Yeah, he's still here. He was my math teacher. So Mr. Ayalo, if you ever see this, hello, thank you. You made a positive impact in my life. And yep, this is Indy right here. This was the weightlifting room, actually. Now I remember. Yeah, so I had Mr. Gallardi. This is the weightlifting room, yeah. So now I think they are foreign language classes. And 10th grade is when I got into lifting weights seriously. Mr. Gallardi would show me proper techniques, but this whole thing was all the weight room here. It's pretty cool. Like I said, each villa had its own principal. I don't remember who the principal was for this one here, but the counselor was Miss LaFrance. And Miss LaFrance made such a good positive impact in my life. I was going through some hard times when I was a senior, and she really helped me out. So shout out to Miss Trudy LaFrance. Her and her husband were really good people.
Starting in action.
Okay, so right now we are in between the big gym. This is where we had all of our rallies. Many events were happening here, right? I mean, even including now volleyball. This is volleyball tournaments are here, and this is the small gym here. Same kind of thing. So one day I was in 10th grade. Don't do what I do, okay? Anybody?
Okay.
This is bad. Okay, so I saw the golf cart here, right? This, which belonged to the NARCs. We call them the NARCs, right? The school administrators, like Ms. Palacios, Mr. Samatua, he was actually real good. He was also a cop, and he was one of the administrators here. He was with San Jose PD. But anyway, I saw the golf cart here, so I grabbed it. I went here, and then I went over here. I took it all the way down that field over there, hella far. And I was just right all by myself. Nobody saw, nothing, whatever. I didn't even brag about it. I don't think I even told anybody. But anyway, I took off with it, and I went and I took it all the way down to the creek. And once I got down to the creek, I jumped off. So there goes the golf cart, the golf cart into the creek. Somebody posted like, "Who did this?" Whatever. That was me. But yes, I know, honey buns. I'm glad that you mentioned that. I would much rather you be inside the yearbook for something positive, uplifting. Don't be like your papi. Okay, so right here, we are in front of the girls' lockers, right? The girls' locker room for PE and all that. All right, follow me here. I got a story for you right here. So one day, me and I'm not gonna say his real name, but let's just say he was a tonto. The area here would get lots of mud going across from that building there to the grass here, right? So me and Tonto were walking. We were supposed to go to the rally. We're like, nah, I don't want to go to the rally. Let's just go to our next class. We'll wait outside. So here, lots of mud accumulated, and this guy was walking. Me and him were talking, we were laughing, talking, whatever. And fool slips right here. Boom! He slips, and I mean the whole thing was full of mud, right? He got up. He's all, "It's all good, Holmes. It's all good. Is there any mud on me, Holmes? Am I good, homie?" I'm like, "Oh, bro, you got there's mud all over you." He's like, "Oh, it's cool, it's cool." What's this? He used to do this all the time. He'd be like, "It's cool, it's cool." Just to be cool, he'd go, and he'd spit, and as soon as he spit, it would just fall here. He wouldn't make it across. He'd go, and it would just go. Another story here. I had a homie that had a 65 Impala, and it was stuck inside. He no longer went to Independence, but he had his Impala here in auto class, right? And then one day he says, "Mondo, I want you to help me out. I want you to help me with take out my car out of there after school. When there's nobody there, the classroom's always open, and I need you to help me break it out of there." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "Nobody's there." He's like, "It's my car." I'm like, "I know it's your car."
Wait, inside that one.
Inside, yeah. It was inside one of those classrooms because that was the auto shop, right? I went with them, and sure enough, nobody was in the class. I mean, the roll-up doors were wide open, and there was music coming out of the radio. So anyway, he gets inside the car, and then I helped him push from here all the way down the street over there to Avalani. We pushed it all the way over there, and that's far. I was the one pushing it. Well, for a little while, until there was a straightaway. Then he got out and he helped me, but he was only getting inside the car when he had to get inside and steer the wheel. Yeah, that was funny. I should mention that my homie that had his car here, that was his car, and since he was going to school here at the time, he wanted to get an oil change, and he had some work to be done on his Impala, right? And that's why it was there. And I guess it had been months since it had been worked, since it had not been worked on. And he's like, "You know what? I'm no longer going to the school anyway. I just need to get my car back." Not sure why he didn't reach out, or maybe he did. I don't know what the real story is behind it, but anyway, that was the story behind why his Impala was here. Okay, so right here, this was Miss Dietrich or something like that, in Miss Watkins' class. And there was another door right here, and that's where I would sit, all the way in the back. So the door was always opened, so I'd enjoy, getting the breeze inside and stuff. I had this class right after PE. So usually I would be weightlifting instead of doing all the other things that you had an option of either lifting or doing the other things that the other PE teachers would be doing. I would choose lifting, right? So I fell asleep in this class since this was my fifth period class. My fifth period class, right after lunch, I would get tired because I had been lifting during fourth period. So one day I fell asleep and I was dreaming. And I was lifting weights, and I dreamed that somehow the plate fell off the bar and it hit me in the face. Bam! And I went, "Whoa!" I woke up, and everybody was looking at me like, "Oops!" Nobody knew that was. Well, maybe they did. I don't know, but everybody was just looking at me like, "Oh no!" And that tower, I don't know, the clock tower. I think it was different when I used to go here, but there's time capsules all around the stage. We could go by there and look at them. That's where we would bury things from that pertain to our year.
Oh,
so that
put that in your high school reunion.
My high school reunion, yeah, they opened up the capsules. They opened they opened it up. They took out all the time capsules. Class of 94, 95. I don't know how far it goes back. No, I don't think I put anything there, but I recognize lots of the things that they put in there during the high school reunion. Okay, so this was my jewelry class. I hated coming to this class because I'm like, what? Why am I in jewelry class? Probably because I didn't pick my elective, so they chose them for me. I forget the name of the teacher, but she did not like me. She gave me what? F-. I can't believe she did that. But I could see why, because one of my friends from Milpitas, he got kicked out of his Milpitas school, and he came here, and him and I used to make, we were kind of bored. We didn't know what to make. We didn't why are we making jewelry for? So he said they used to have these big old nails and these large wooden dowels with this type of jelly that would get hard. So he said, "Hey, you know what we should do? We should make weapons." So we would make weapons in this class, make like shanks. And my teacher saw that and she's like, "Give those back to me." And she'd always check us, him and I, before we walked out of class. She would check us to make sure that we weren't making any and that we weren't taking them out of class.
You're so bad. Did they
really was.
They had a cat that checked you?
Yeah, they had to check us.
And then
F-, yeah, she did not like it. I know, I didn't either, so that was the only time I ever got an F-. Okay, so in this whole quad, there used to be a totem pole right here somewhere. Totem pole here. I forget where it was at. But this class was Miss Brown's class. And I had Miss Brown for 9th, 10th grades. And Miss Brown was just such a nice, sweet lady. I really liked her, and she was always like, "Come on, guys, you guys can't be cutty, and you guys can't be getting into trouble, and if you guys ever need anything, talk to me, whatever." She was just so supportive of me and my friend. Miss Brown was our art teacher. In that class, we did paper mache. We painted, colored with pastels, and she really taught me. That was Miss Brown's class, and we did. She really taught me about perspective, isometric drawings. She helped me out a lot with that, and it all clicked. That's why I love architecture so much. One day, Miss Brown saw me doing something really bad. Right? There was this guy that I didn't even know him. I just knew he was from the opposition. So I saw him, and he was with his girlfriend, and I was by myself, whatever. And I'm walking, and it was like right after lunch. It's going to be 5th period. I'm supposed to be walking over to, I forget, 11th grade, I forget who I had, right? But I saw this guy, and he was mad dogging me. So, what's up, fool? Bam! I clocked him right in the face. And Miss Brown saw that. She's like, "Armando!" That was so bad. I took off running. So I was like, I'm not going to get suspended. I went home. I went that way to get in trouble.
Did you go back to school after?
I did go back to school the next day, but I never had her. I only had her in 9th and 10th grade. I didn't have her in 11th. And when that happened, that was in 11th grade.
Oh.
So, like I've explained to my daughter many times that I was actually an honor roll student all my life until I hit high school, right? I don't know if it was just me, growing up where I had grown up at in Checkers Drive, being a product of my environment, that's all I was all around, just a bunch of gangsters and a combination of things, right? So, the whole socioeconomic factor, we were dirt poor. My family and I, we were just super poor, and it does something to you when everybody's making fun of you and, being all around gangs, and then there's a whole church part of it. The house was ruled with an iron fist with the Bible. But I understand where my parents are coming from. Now I understand. And then my parents didn't speak any English. I mean, they spoke some English, but they weren't really involved the way I thought that they should have been involved. Like the way I'm involved with my daughter now and her schooling and any of my kids, I'm very hands-on with their education. I'm a big proponent of education now, and actually I have been as well, because even though I was getting into trouble and all that, education was I always had a soft spot for it, and I still continue to learn things, and I encourage my daughter and so many people, like, you gotta go to school, finish school, go get a degree, just like Too Short says, get an education and get a degree and take a vacation. That's all me, like, you gotta do something for yourself, for your future. Eventually I found my path, but it was hard. I had to learn the hard way, and those are things that I don't talk to my daughter about. Eventually, further in the future, I will, probably, but my son knows about it, and I'm glad that I've been here for them. Just thought I'd throw that out there. I'm not trying to glorify my lifestyle. I'm not trying to say I was the baddest guy around or anything like that at all either. But now we're gonna go walk over to my old neighborhood so I could show her I could give her more of a backdrop of all the things that I did as a kid.